They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the truth. Please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday night, the weekend. Everything's going to happen over the weekend, I think. I think so, anyway. Whether it's football, even tonight, you've got Man United playing. And I might say just finish early because I know people will be going to watch the game and then going away from us. So tonight, as you know, it's current affairs. And it's very strong current affairs. I was looking at Trump today. What kind of a leader is that man? He's an absolute... He's like a fella you see in a pub and wanting to pick an argument with you. Because he had the Prime Minister of Japan in, and he was asked a question about the surprise attack on Iran, and he never told the Allies. He said, why didn't you tell them? He said, well, it was a surprise. And he turns around to the reporter. Now, this is as the Prime Minister of Japan was sitting there, and 73% of the Japanese public told her not to go to the White House to see Trump. They're totally against American bases there, by the way. They're totally against the Japanese people because there's lots of murders that happen in Japan. I'll have a guess who the murderers are. American servicemen. Murdering Japanese people. So they want them out. They just want them out. And he turned around to this reporter who said about the surprise attack and why didn't you let your allies know? He said, did you tell us that you were going to attack Pearl Harbor? So you can see now that when she gets back home, the Prime Minister, she's going to be under so much pressure, either to resign or tell Trump and America where to get off. Because she went over there to buy weapons. And she said, yeah, we'll do some weapons. So the opposition in Japan will just go, we don't want them. We want nothing to do with America. We can get them somewhere else. It's just ridiculous, this man. Let's see what you've been saying. Rapat. Evening, first. Evening, Frank and all. Yeah, evening, Rapat. TW, evening, Frank and chat. And he carries on by saying, like and subscribe. Thank you for that. Really need the likes and the subscription. I always do that. always. And our little Lambie is not too good, actually, at the moment. She's a lovely lady, little Helen. Hi, Frank, and everyone in the chat. Hi, Helen. And the Goodison lad. Hi, Goodison. Hello. Hey, mate. Good to see you. Really. And Johan. Good evening, Frank and Legends. Hope everyone as well. Yeah, I think we all are. I think we're all fed up, though, aren't we? You know, with what's going on, Johan, with wars and everything else. It's just, I'm a pacifist, you know. I really am. And I think we most are, because we don't want wars. We want to live in peace. We just want to live in peace. And with the war going on and around, you're going to get some mighty bills, energy bills, because you're at the EU, the stupid EU, allowing the Nord Stream pipeline to be blown up, because all the energy coming from Russia was all cheap. Everything was cheap. And you had these bureaucrats, von der Leyen, and the rest of them, cheering that the Nord Stream pipeline was blown up. Look at that Sikorski out of Poland, a Polish minister. What happens when they blew it up? Within a minute, he thanked on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, thank you, USA. You see the Russophobia coming out? Thank you, USA. Within a minute, you had Liz Truss, who was Prime Minister at the time, and phoning someone up and saying, within the minute, it's done. So she knew that it was going to be blown up. Poland knew. Germany knew. They all knew that it was going to be blown up. Didn't they realise the consequences? What was going to happen? Now with this Iran war, oil prices are going to go sky high, which they are now at the moment at over $100 a barrel. This is why you call the petrodollar. This is why the likes of BRICS wants to get away from all this. The petrodollar, and it's declining now. It's on its way down. It's not going to happen overnight, but. And Ambi says, smash the likes, folks, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Ambi. Thank you, Ellen. And Johan, did you see the look on her face when he said that? It was shocking. It was shocking, Johan. She was totally embarrassed. She was overwhelmed. She's a leading statesperson. And he says a stupid thing like that. A stupid thing like that. You don't say that. What if, say, Starmer went to India to meet Modi, just example, and Modi turned around to him and said, what did you invite there? Why did you come and slaughter our people to expand your empire? How was he felt? Or vice versa. We came to your thing, your country, to take all your resources and everything. And we've still got them. And we've got a big crown there that puts on kings and queens with big diamonds in that belong to you. And some belong to South Africa. And we've got them all. What's he saying things like that? This is what kind of an idiot this fella is. And he got in on the premise of peace. I even believed him. I believed him, me. He conned everybody. But he had no peace. He had no intentions of having peace. Because if he would have got in after Biden, the first day he would have just said, no war in Ukraine, we're pulling everything out, that's it. But he didn't. He carried on giving arms. He carried on giving them intel. He carried on doing everything for them. Until Netanyahu got involved with Iran. And as you know, everybody should know that Israel has been wanting a war, bringing America into a war with Iran for 40 years. Every other president, albeit how bad they are in the Middle East, how bad they were shocking people, shocking presidents. You've only got to look at Libya and what happened to Gaddafi under Obama. You've only got to look at what happened to Bashar Assad in Syria. You've only got to look at what happened to Saddam Hussein in Iraq. You've only got to look, can't even pronounce his name, from Afghanistan. And what did he do? You see him going to a plane with two big old dolls full of money. That's how corrupt Afghanistan was. And they were always fighting the Taliban. The Taliban now are more powerful than they were. Anyway. So shocking that, Johan, the look on that lady's face. Hey, Johan. And she says, yeah, I saw that pressure with the Japanese PM. Trump is a prick. Simple as that. And Johan, good evening, Ambi. Hope you're well. Oh, she's not too good, you know. Our little Ambi. Evening, Johan. Says the T. RER is the fella with the most exotic name in the world. Cedric Lopez. A brilliant name. Big up the legends. And chat. Look at that. Without the chat. I'm just about seeing this. Exactly. I love you, sir, letting on to each other. I really do. Have you noticed I'm not leaning forward because my neck goes in it's terrible. I've got my things down here right by me so I can click on. Evening, Cedric. Lovely. There's my old mate, Steve Mulholland. Hi, Frank, did you see Steve Sweeney, the British journalist, getting bombed in the Lebanon by it? No, I haven't. It's fucking shocking what they're doing to the Lebanese. It's absolutely shocking, those Israelis. After this, you know, Israel be looked at by ordinary people like you and I in a different light. In a totally different light. There'll be nowhere, look at Israel. But what I'm saying is I've known about Israel for years. You know, doing the history and that and whatever. In lectures. I've known about them. I've known about how they've been creating a greater Israel from a tiny little spot. I hope that wasn't my doorbell then. Anyway, the Pat says to Steve, I saw that. He did another video and said he was targeted by Israelis. Did you see? We've been caught loading up US bombers, yeah. We need, well, Starmer said, no, we're not helping. And there they are. I go back to the 80s when Reagan wanted to bomb Libya, and Gaddafi tried to kill him. And Thatcher allowed him to use the bases here to take off the jets. So we've always been allowing, saying we're not getting involved yet. There's all the bombers taking off, the big missiles. It's shocking. Polo, hi Frank, hope you're well and hope everyone is okay. Yes, Polo. Good to see you, Polo. And Lindsay Ellis, even if Frank and everyone, how you, Lynn? And the Polo says, Frank, can I ask, do you have MacBook Pro? No, and a good microphone. Is it a big setup? I have a big microphone. I can't bend it down, unfortunately. I used to have it, it used to be shown. You could see it, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, say Jason, he's the producer. He does everything. He sets everything up. I've got the microphone here. Right here it is. I can't bend it down. No. Just can't get it. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. No, it's not. But I see it anyway. Massive it is. Big thing. Just can't... Let's see. Should be. No, can't get it. But it's here. I've got hold of it. It's a big thing. No. I can't blame me. What did you have that stuff for? It's a big microphone. And your answer, Steve? He was live on RT when it happened. What? Yeah, that's right. I heard something about an RT report. Is he dead? I don't know whether he's dead or not. Can you hear me? Have I messed around too much with that? I'm hopeless, I would break things. I've got this thing here, honest. Yeah, he was. Oh, yeah, I'm saying, has he been killed? No, but he's answered and said, don't mess with the tech, Frank. No. That's Polo's fault. Excuse me. And Steve says, Mulholland, the US military has won the war, and then Peter Hesker is asking for a further 200 billion. Yeah, that's what they're saying. They won the war. And you had that Besson fella. What an idiot. What? No wonder. Look, please tell me. I do I've lectured about the First World War and the Second World War. I've done lectures about Korea, not in depth, but I have done it about Korea. I've done it about Vietnam. They've never won a war, ever. especially, specialised in the First World War and the war poets, and the Second World War, not the war poets in that war. Excuse me. And they've never won it. Trump came out, didn't he? Said we won the wars. Second World War. Yeah. No, you didn't. They couldn't even fight the Houthis, who went on bikes to war to fight them with rifles on the back. They couldn't even defeat them, the Houthis. America can't defeat anybody unless they're backed. The US don't even need us or other countries. It's like they just muddy our hands and others for shared culpability. They do need us. They really do. Redpath. America need backing. That's why in Vietnam, okay, you had the New Zealanders and the Australians there. Couldn't defeat them. They couldn't defeat the Vietnamese. And the Vietnamese had no aircraft, no navy, no nothing. They really had no army. They couldn't defeat them. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Iraq. Look at what's happening in Libya. It's a failed state. This is what they want to do, failed states right through the Middle East so that Israel can go right in and take over to make a greater Israel. And it's not stopping there. It's going over to South America, Latin America. That's why he went into Venezuela. He went into Venezuela, took over Venezuela, but there was a ploy for that. And that was to strangle and cripple Cuba. It's shocking what they're doing, the Americans. And the Americans will have no friends when all this is over, especially if they go into Greenland as well. Johan said, he survived. Oh, that's good. That's good. Thank you, Johan. And Cedric says, can I hear you, Frank? Thank you, Cedric. And Steve says, Steve Sweeney survived but suffered with shrapnel wounds. Do you ever remember Weissensamp with Rigsby? Oh, something happened. Oh, we shrapnel. So funny, that man. I've got to tell you, before I carry on, honestly. Listen, there's a thing on YouTube, and it's God blimey, what's his name? Oh, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. Do you know what? I think I'm cracking up. He's with Les Dennis all the time. Or he was with Les Dennis. But anyway, it's called his name, and it's called I forget what it's fucking called. I was watching it this afternoon. I was laughing my head off. Been watching it. It's so funny. It's only a little clip, a little comedy clip thing. It's so funny. The lie detector. Something with the lie detector. It's not funny. Forget who it is. It'll come to me anyway. And Barry says, even if Franken-Chat saw Trump with that Japanese dignitary, I would have walked out after what he said, complete and utter idiot. Yeah, I thought the same. I thought the same. I would have walked out. I would have walked out. I'm just thinking about that thing. See, oh, I forget his name. You all know. His tennis used to be with him. And that's funny. Trump, the draft object. He said yes. And why doesn't he send his son over to Iran? Baron. You've seen him standing there in the uniform. Why doesn't he send him over front line? Hey, Franken-Chat says, Paulie. Hiya, Paulie. Hiya, mate. And Janet. Hiya, Frank. Hiya, Janet. Barry, Russ Abbott. That's him. Please watch it. Russ Abbott and the lie detector. It's not our fault. He's a cop in it. Unless Dennis is he's the thief or whatever he is, sitting at a table waiting to be interrogated. Oh, so funny. Just watch it, please. Thank you, Barry. Russ Abbott. Just couldn't think of his name. And the Pat says, do you reckon, hang on, do you reckon they do need us, Frank? Do you mean backing in a sense of financially or military? America has always needed backing. I always remember Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president then, after the JFK, and the Vietnam was going on, and he went to Harold Wilson, and he said, I need you boys with us in Vietnam. And Harold Wilson, these are proper politicians. And he said, my boys are going nowhere near Vietnam. So don't ask again. No way. And that was to the Americans. And now guess what? How long did Wilson last? Not long. He never lasted long. And he said that he left on health reasons. He left the premiership on health reasons. And Callahan took over, didn't he? That was shocking what they'd done to him. That was over Vietnam. Over Vietnam. Trump, I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name properly, Shabazan, is it? I'll just call you Cheb, okay? Trump has on the head, in other words, he's a squirrel, an orange squirrel. Understand what you're saying there, Cheb. Good lad for trying. Good lad. But that's the way it is, unfortunately, with these silly people. Well, they're not silly. The warmongers, the war hawks. They just want wars. And that was to keep the military complexes going. Because if you look at the way America is with the Congress and Senate, you've got a lot of Israeli, well, they're not Israeli, they're American Jews lobbying all the time. the lobbying, the congressman paying the money. That's corruption, man. To speak up for Israel. There's a woman named Adelson, and she gave over $100 million, $100 million to Trump for this campaign. So you know why. It was all set out that he'd go on the campaign trail asking for peace. But they knew what he was going to do, going to carry on. Wars. Every American president loved wars. Lyndon Baines Johnson, right after JFK, Vietnam. You had in the 50s, didn't you? With Eisenhower, Korea. You just love wars. When you look at the bases around, I'm talking about American bases. They've got 80 American bases around the world. And they say that Russia, China are enemies, and Iran, and North Korea. Now I'm going to ask you, it's as simple as that. Where are Russian bases? Where are Chinese bases? Where's North Korean bases? Where's Iranian bases? And you're just getting lies all the time from Netanyahu about they're going to make a nuclear bomb within a couple of weeks. He's been saying that for 40 fucking years. And I think by the end of this, they will have a nuclear for self-defense. And you're getting the stupid Europeans. They're coming out now and saying, oh, we're backing America, but we're not. Why are they backing them? Why are they backing America? Not with boots on the ground or anything like that, or anything military. There's nowhere backing them. But I just want to know why they've come out and said it. We're backing them. And Sheb says, but I think all Europe needs now the cover of defence of USA force, because in Europe we are more lands diverse in opinions, yet we are diverse in opinions and powers. You see, you've only got to look at the likes of Viktor Orban, for example, and he's having murder with the EU and von der Leyen and all their cronies. Kaja Kallas, a complete and utter idiot. An idiot. She's the top diplomat of the EU. Now, these people are bureaucrats. They've never been elected. No one's elected them in. But they were put in by the WEF to control everything. The World Economic Forum. They're a dangerous group of people. So these people were put in to look at different countries in Europe. And they've got the main base in Brussels. But they haven't a clue. They are so pathetic. And with this war now, and with them sanctioning Russia for no reason, just because they went in to save Russian-speaking people from genocide. Not many people know that. They take no notice of that. They're always looking at BBC and ITV. They haven't a clue. They're just following the narrative, the Western narrative that the Americans told them to follow. Because the Americans wanted to take on Russia. in a proxy war. That's why they're there now. And they couldn't take on Russia because they'd be getting defeated every day. And you're getting the stupid Yanks with all the propaganda saying, well, look what they've taken. They haven't taken much. They've taken what they wanted to take. And they will take Odessa because that is a Russian city. It's not a Ukrainian city. Khrushchev gave it to them. When he was president of the Soviet Union, he said, yeah, you can have Ukraine, Odessa, and Kharkov, and another place called Crimea. It's all changed now. Jeanette. Tonight is comic relief. Oh, no, that's nice. Believe you, Jeanette. Quite a few years ago, my son Mark did a sponsored unicycle ride around Sefton Park, whilst his brother, excuse me, hang on a sec. Just bring that down a minute. Whilst his brother and sister threw jellies at him, interviewed by Frank Sidebottom. Right. Okay. And the part says one country has over 800 military bases around the world. Yes. I want to know where the Russians are. I want to know where they're the axis of evil. America's come out and went, bink, 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 bink. We'll name them the axis of evil. The axis of evil. Now, I'll tell you this for nothing. It's all been planned to destabilize the Middle East. So that all the war-torn people can go through into Europe. And the main aim was to destabilize Europe with migrants. And it's destabilized it. Think about it. Think about it. Destabilizing everything. And it's so sad. And we've allowed them to just carry on. Carry on, America. See, it's all corruption. It's all corruption. You've got these Epstein files. And because of the Epstein files, this is keeping him out of jail. This is keeping him out of jail. Now he's looking at little avenues as Trump. So he's having this war with Iran. The other war will be, I'm telling you now, if this stops tomorrow, who it'll be will be Zelensky, the most corrupt leader. He is corrupt. We all know that. He salted away millions upon millions of dollars. And I mean, because everything that was going in, it wasn't going through a bank, When they were bringing money into Zelensky, into Ukraine, it was cash. It wasn't a check or anything. It was cash. Billions of dollars, billions of euros, billions of pounds. Think about it. Think about that. And there he is. He's got, I'll tell you what he's actually done. He bought a massive, millions of vineyard in Italy, of all places. and he's got Israelis looking after it. And I think he's brought them in as partners, Israelis. But he's in a no-win situation, I'm telling you now. There's no way he's going to enjoy anything. I'll give you that. For nothing. So what do you think? Hey? What do you think of that? And Zell? Old Zell. He was a young teenager. Oh, when he went around, yeah. I forget that. Yeah. That's good. That's good, Jeanette. At least he did it for charity, didn't he? And yeah, in Second War, UK calls in as help USA Roosevelt because Hitler was destroying Britain's. No, we you know, I've got to. We held our own. There's a lot to what you said there, unfortunately. There's a lot what you said, Cheb, because it was a grave mistake by Hitler going east to Russia. If they would have taken over it, he would have done. If they would have invaded here from when they were all lining up around Calais, right through northern France, just to invade, we wouldn't have been able to have stopped them. We were training with, tell you what we had, broom handles as rifles. That's how badly equipped we were. The Americans helped us with their arms. They did. But we were resolute in defending ourselves. And I've got to say this, you had the likes of Reinhard Heydrich, who was the blue eye of Hitler. And he was assassinated in Prague by 3 students who were trained by MI6. They were trained and they killed him. Now, if he wouldn't have been killed, there's no way Germany would have gone into Russia at that moment. Because Heydrich would have said, no, don't go into Russia. Go into the UK. Go into Britain. Take that first. Solidify it there. Then we can concentrate on Russia. They even went in at the wrong time. Russia. They went in the summer. And by the time October, November came, the winter hit them. And they have severe winters. And that was the end of them. That was the end of them. They were fighting the Soviets. The Soviets are very resilient, or they were resilient people, just like Russia today. Very resilient. Excuse me. And Barry, to that part, we haven't even got that many soldiers, no. No Navy. I remember 2 great big, under Cameron, brilliant. 2 big, mighty aircraft carriers. And we had no planes to put them on. We had no planes. Because they were out of use. So what did we do? We had to borrow planes off the French. Now they're all leaking. They're still leaking today. The aircraft carriers. Wesley Clark says report blew their plans up. 7 countries. We are, yeah, that's right. We are going to invade the last one, Iran. Yeah, that's right. The last one, Iran. They're all liars. Every single American president, whatever you want to say about them, they're all fucking liars. They just took weapons of mass destruction. Look at the barrel bombs that Bashar Assad was doing on his own people, which was a big lie. A big lie. They make it, it's all propaganda. They're the worst propagandist on the planet is America. Then you had Gaddafi. Believe it or not, Gaddafi was fantastic to his people. He was such a lovely man to his people. And yet you had all the propaganda that he was killing his own people. Just like you have in Iran today, that they're killing thousands of protest. No, they're fucking not. And if you believe that, well, you might as well believe anything that they say. You might as well say that they've won all wars, that they're the greatest nation on the planet, and they're not. You might as well say that America is drug-free. Everyone's an upright citizen, which they're not. There's more fucking serial killers and everything out there. More drug abusers than anywhere else. And that's a lot to say that. Don't believe a word they say. And Barry says, hang on, I'm sorry to write these ripper. I know, mate, we need to keep well away from all that good. Yes. However, that ends, I see Zelensky stepping down and do a runner to Italy. No, he won't do a runner to Italy. There's no fucking way. He can only go to either America, but they've said, the Russians have said, we're going to fucking get him and bring him back for war crimes. People don't realise that he's been committing war crimes every fucking day. Eh? Every day. Zelensky. And look who's got behind him. The Banzerites. And who are the Banzerites? They're all fucking Nazis. Every single one of them. Nazis. They've got the Nazi ideology of what the Germans had in the 30s and 40s. Johan. The Green Goblin says Ukraine was the first country to fight the axis of evil, Russia, Iran, North Korea. Don't forget about us. Translation, we need money. Exactly. Exactly. They were put there by America to fight Russia, because you're seeing all that with the 2014 coup d'etat when they got rid of Yanukovych, who was democratically elected by the majority of people in Ukraine, the whole of Ukraine. But the Americans didn't like that. So they said, listen, this fella, he supports Russia. He just didn't support Russia. He supported the Ukrainians. He supported trade. But they didn't like that. Get rid of him. And they did. Under Victoria Nuland. The coup d'etat. Put in a puppet regime. Bang, that was it. 2022, March 2022 in April. They were having negotiations to stop all the cessation of war. And what did Boris Johnson do? Because Biden told, you might think this fella's bad. Fucking Biden, he was fucking horrible as well. And he told Boris Johnson to get over there and make sure that he doesn't sign, this is Zelensky, make sure he doesn't sign the peace agreement. Because they really thought that they could take on Russia. The proxy war. And everybody else. Don't forget the Europeans have been in there having a go, just getting defeated. Every day, as I said. But you get the propaganda saying, look where they are, they can't move any. They don't want to fucking move any further. They've taken the oblasts. They're not going to be given back because they're in the Russian Federation. And they're on the way to Kharkiv and now Odessa. And once they take them, that's it. Ukraine, what will be left of it, will be landlocked. Sorry there. It's the state of government. Shabba. Thanks for using caps. Thanks for that, Cheb. And I think also that is Great Britain that commands with his military power the United States at his service and protection. No. You see, look, we've always protected ourselves. The unfortunate thing is, with the United Nations, which is now fell apart, everybody, look, what was happening? Look, you had no wars. They provoked Russia to go into the Ukraine. They provoked them because they wouldn't go in and help the Russian-speaking people. So before the war, before in 2022, what was happening? Say from 1990. Hey, what was happening? You had NATO. NATO was America, by the way. NATO is America. He goes in and bombs Serbia. They make a little conclave in Serbia called Moldova. And this is American planning to surround Russia. And Russia said the red line is Ukraine. Do not bring NATO into Ukraine. That's the red line. And this is what they're fighting now today. Because they want to bring, they just want NATO into Ukraine. This is the West. And this is why they're fighting as well. Not just because of the genocide that was going on with Russian-speaking people. But I understand what you're saying, Cheb. They're terrified of America for some reason. For some reason, they're terrified. And he's saying, he's come out, didn't he, today or yesterday, Trump, and called the Europeans cowards. Why don't they just fuck them off? Just say, piss off, we don't need you. We don't need your Hollywood films, which is just load of propaganda. Cuba is next after Iran. Marco Rubio, I've been dreaming about this since he was in his mother's womb. Yeah, what did he say? That he was born, wasn't he, in Cuba? He's a liar. He was born, they left before Fidel Castro came into power. 2 years before. But yet Marco Rubio wants Cuba. This is why they went into Venezuela. I don't know what's going to happen there. Because the Venezuelans must be saying, what the fuck, these? And our oil? And America now, what they've come out with is we're the most for energy, for oil, for gas, for everything. Now, because of Russia being blocked by the EU. It's pathetic. All planned. Brilliant planning, by the way. I'm not saying anything else. Brilliant planning. Because I always remember Blinken, when that Nord Stream was blown up, the first thing he said at a press conference in the White House said, we have a great opportunity now to feed energy to Europe. And that's what they're doing now. And he's just come out, Trump, and said, but there'll be no caps, unfortunately. So what they'll do, they'll charge everything to destabilise us more, especially energy prices. And people can't see that. The European Union couldn't see that. That's how pathetic they are. It's the way it is. But you're right, Johan. Rubio's always been after it. Remember when he was joking, Trump, and he said, I'll make Marco president of Cuba. What's Cuba done? You know, people have said, well, why Cuba? They said they're a threat to us. They're shocking people, America. They're shocking. Awful. Awful people. Listen, if anyone's never liked, coming on here tonight, can you just press the likes, please? Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, can you just subscribe? Get me a little algorithm up there. Or I'll send one of these over to you if you don't. Oh, red pot, sorry. To Johan. Haven't the US increased the starvation pressure on Cuba? Yes, they have. Last few days, been seeing some on the ground reports. Yeah, it's just like Gaza, what they're doing there. America, we're complicit in genocide. What's going on today? We're complicit in the Lebanese war. We're complicit in the Iranian war. We're complicit in this Cuba thing. No one's condemned it. That's why I said before that the United Nations is no longer anything. They're just people who are being paid for nothing. They're just being paid to have dinners and have a little chat about, say, like Germany or, oh yeah, well, Merz is doing all right. Whatever. But Merz is doing bad, which we know he is. His industry has gone to the dogs because of Nord Stream, by the way. I still don't understand why the Senate allows Trump to continue doing what he does. Says, Barry, they've been bribed. This is what I mean about the Israel and the Jews in America, the Jewish brethren in America. They're wanting the best for Israel. And they're bribing them. All the senators, they're bribing Congress. Congress, he never even went to Congress. He should be impeached for that. He just went to war without Congress's blessing. If they would have said no, he couldn't have gone to war. And your answer, Red Pat. They've cut off their energy access, but last I heard, China sent a ship to Cuba full of supplies. Won't last long though. And Russia, they've sent over oil and gas, haven't they? But while they're doing Iran, all that gas and everything that the Russians have sent, the likes of the ships and the supplies, that'll just run out and they just go in and that's the end of it. Regime change again. They just want puppets all over the world. And they've got them in Europe. There's only Viktor Orban and Fico of Slovakia who are not complicit to America. And they're totally against what, and they're trying to now, you might as well say that von der Leyen is going to do a regime change in May, a couple of months, in Hungary. Viktor Orban will be defeated. And he's more concerned for his people. The people, the Hungarians, he's more concerned about them than anybody. And so is Fico of Slovakia. And so is that, I can't pronounce his name, of the Czech Republic, the new fella. I seen a video of Lech Poznan ultras going to the Wisla Krakow stadium singing anti-Ukrainian songs with Shakhtar Donetsk fans. Well, that's, they're in the Donbass, aren't they? The Donbassians, the likes of Donetsk and the Shakhtars, they just do not like Kiev, what they're doing and what they've been doing for years to them. But the Duma have said we're going to get Zelensky and other war criminals. They don't want the war to finish. You see, it's like Trump. He just makes wars so he won't go on trial and go to jail. That's why he's keeping wars going. He's going to go to jail then. And impeachment. But they should impeach him now. I think the American people, they're still asleep. They've always been asleep. I've watched programs on the telly. They've even said, what's the capital of America? They haven't a fucking clue. And I'm talking university students. They're pathetic. I don't know what the education system is there. Fucking hell. Frank says to Polo, do you watch Peter Lavelle from the Russian RT News? He's good. I can't get RT on. I get the Russian news though. I do get that on. I get, other things. I'll tell you who I can't say. I watch them, the Duran. And every time you get Alex Christoforou and Alexander Macarius on, every time Alex is saying something, the other fella's butting them and he won't let him ask a question or anything. It really pisses me off. And I don't like Alex Christoforou, and he always says, I always say, oh, fuck off. When he says, stunning and brave Kaya Callas. I don't know why he keeps saying that. I know he's taking the piss out of it. But I hate that. I hate that little saying. She's not stunning and she isn't certainly brave. She's a fucking coward. Hiding behind the EU. She's a Russophobe. No, I've searched all that, to be honest. Trying to get him. Been told about him. And Barry says, where does the USA go after all this? Ends Frank. And how long do they gain credit from all the allies moving forward? Never mind their opponents. America, it's not going to be over because they will start wars. They're going to go into the South America for regime changes there. You've just seen it with Venezuela. You're seeing it now in real time with Cuba. This is what you're seeing it with. So they're going to go in there. And why are they going in there? I'll tell you for why. Look, when Ricardo won that Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, that was a big setup because she's a little hat, a tiny hat, and she will become president of Venezuela in the end. They're just keeping her back because they know that they'd be trouble if they they were to just put her in. So they're just keeping her back and allowing like a government, to govern the country. That's the Maduro government, by the way. The fella they kidnapped. What fucking right did they have to do that? And his wife. And put them in an American jail to stand trial. What for? They're saying drugs, a load of bollocks. And they're going to do it all over Latin America. Because most countries are left-wing and they hate left-wing. You know that they hate communism. They think a socialist is a communist. They haven't a fucking clue. That's how thick they are. That's how thick these people are. Who wants to police the world. But they'll never police Russia. They'll never, ever police China. They won't police India. Never police them. They won't police North Korea. Why won't they? Why? Because they've got nuclear weapons. That's why, after all this, I'll guarantee you right now that Iran will have nuclear weapons to defend themselves from Israel. Polo, says Barry, what was said, not seeing it. Oh, God. So you finally got there, Gary, eh? Hello from Reykjavik, Iceland. Watch that some Americans don't come over there at the main time to try and take Iceland and have a regime change, Gary. You might end up president. You might end up president of Iceland. It must be freezing there. Still winter there, isn't it? Reykjavik. I remember Liverpool playing them in the European Cup in the 60s, early 60s. He's 64 or something like that. Reykjavik beat them 10-0 or 11-0. Johan. Meanwhile, the Soviets were promised not an inch eastward by NATO to dissolve the Warsaw. Yeah, well, Gorbachev was promised, wasn't he? He was promised, Johan. Listen, you won't go an inch. And look where they are. They've fucking gone all around. They've gone all around. I'll tell you another country that if they try to go in, Russia will fucking intervene, and I mean in a massive way. You think that this is in a massive way here, and that's Georgia. I'm telling you now. That's Georgia. And Sheb says, anyway, Zelensky is a great, stupid clown and addicted sons of rich family. Yes, he is. He is a clown, and he's a drug abuser. That's why America love him, because he's a drug abuser. They love all these drugs, you see, the Americans. Have you seen it? Have you seen Philadelphia lately? They're all fucking bent over in the street. It's horrible. Polo to Barry. Chaos, mass migration, woke elite, Europe hamstrung by Islamists, all done by Israel. Yeah. The Likud, yeah. Bang on there, Polo. Bang on. It's all because of Israel and the hegemony, or hegemony, whatever way you want to pronounce it. If there be no Israel, there be no wars. Do you know that? And Paulie says to Janet, that's got to be hard riding a unicycle and jelly through at you. That Frank Sidebottom was mad. Yeah, he used to get dressed up, didn't he? What was he dressed up as? Frank Sidebottom. Hello, he had a mask on or something. Polo. Hit the likes and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, Polo. They don't. Sad. And Johan, you've just hit 1.3k subs on YouTube, Frank. Congratulations. 10k soon, and we can sell merch. What merch could be sold? It would be great, that though. You might think with me little sponsors, I only got one sponsor, and that's Gap Painting Services. And, it does help us to put out these things, these streams, Johan. But we still have to pay, Jason and myself. I don't ask anyone for anything, never have done, never will do. And Jason doesn't. And, Jason works. Jason's got a big family, and so we throw a lot into it. As Polo says, have you got a big mic, Frank? Yeah. I can't even show it to you. I'm right there. Look. Here my hand is. Look, I'm it. Yeah. Get it out. Fucking useless, mate. Checking up the enemy. Let's see if we go on. No. Can you hear me? Anyway, I can't see it. I think I've loosened it. I've loosened it. I've loosened me, mate. I'll have to try and fix this. Sorry, boys and girls. Let's see. Oh yeah. Polo. What are you like? Got a big mic there, Frank. Anyway. Thanks for that, Johan. And at least someone is liking it and whatever. And Steve, the old mate, he says, the US only interested in the private sector in Cuba because it trades in the US dollar and they want to get their hands on its pharmaceutical. It's like here, I was looking at something. No, it wasn't. I was going shopping yesterday with Francine, my daughter, and there was a little news thing, and that Francine, rabbitting away. And I said, hang on a minute. And what it said was, I don't know who it was because I missed out on it, was during COVID, the NHS nearly crashed. Well, I know governments are wanting it to crash. Even Labour governments. The Tories have always wanted it to crash because of America. Because America says, we're giving you our pharmaceuticals cheap. You want to privatise and get people to insure themselves because they want to put the price of drugs up. So, the likes of the NHS could go privatised anytime soon. And that's what America wants. Trump's always wanted it. Even in his first term, he said about the NHS, it should be privatised. People should insure themselves, like here in America. The Brits should do it. That's what he said. And you've been, haven't you, Steve, to Cuba? Dolly Doolittle. Hello, Dolly. I think you were over the top with poor Snapey. Quite rude too. You should make out. Oh, fuck off. Fucking apologising to him. Fucking, I don't apologise to fucking anybody. If they're having a go at me, I'm being fucking stupid as well. He should apologise to me. So you fucking tell him, Dolly. I don't want us a fucking apology either. He can fuck off. I warned him once before about it. I warned him. And then he said, all right, yeah, I won't do it. So don't be coming on here, Dolly, saying you should make an apology. The only time I ever make an apology is when I'm in the wrong, and I always do. Not to fucking someone who was in the fucking wrong, by the way, and an arsehole with it, and went off. Just fucking vanished. Just went off, never fucking says anything. I don't give a fuck about him. Mr. fucking Stoke. Cedric says, off home now, but I wish you a wonderful weekend all. Take care, be safe. Thank you, Cedric. Thank you. Well, it's fucking him, isn't it? It's Snapey. It's fucking Snapey that. Dolly's account was created 20 seconds before she sent the comments. Ignore. Polly says, Dolly, if you listen, you may learn something. She's saying I'm like fucking Les Dawson now. Okay, now. Say no fucking notice. That's Snapey, that. That's Snapey. That's him. Frank, you're right. The university students in all Western countries are thick, drugged up, brainwashed. They don't think for themselves, says the Polo. You want to listen to those Americans? You want to? They haven't a fucking clue. They haven't a clue. They didn't even know what they I always remember, I'm going back a while back now. They had this lad, they had America, big map of America. And, the states, all the states put no names on them. They were all blank. And this fella came from Massachusetts. And this is a university student. And he said, he was asked where the state was. And he was looking around at this map, blank map, with the states there, if you know what I mean, all chalked off. And he said, I don't know. He said, well, have a guess. This is in the north. This is Massachusetts. And he just pointed. The fella said, well, just point where you think. And he pointed to California. Now, I know myself personally where Liverpool is. And believe it or not, I know where Cuba is. And believe it or not, I know where Taiwan is. And I know where South Africa is. And I know where India is. Give me a blank anywhere in the world and I'll point them out. I even know where Liechtenstein is. At the foot of the Alps. See what I mean? I just know where they are. I always remember when we went to the Falklands in the 80s, 82, 83. And they were asking on the Granada reports, they were saying, do you know where the Falklands are? When they've sent in the armour, when stupid Thatcher was sending an armour. Is it near Scotland? The Falklands are Scotland. The islands, the Moluccan. Oh. And Johan Frank, the Kiev Post called Kaya Kallas a stunning politician and a shift towards Europe's brave stance against Russian expansionism. That's why he keeps calling her stunning and brave. Oh, right, okay. Thanks for that, Johan. But it really pisses me off, still pisses me off, honestly. Because she's a Russophobe from Estonia. She governed, didn't she, when she was Prime Minister or President, whatever they are there, like 1.2 million. And look at this, over 200 million, 300 million Europeans. She's fucking top diplomat. Makes sense of that. Thanks for that, yo. Yo, thanks, mate. Hungary and Czech look beautiful. Best move there soon, says Polo. Only if Victor gets back in. Because you've only got to look at Romania and what happened there when that, what's his name, Georgescu was going to win it. And von der Leyen fucking cancelled. Where's the democracy there? Where's the democracy? Barry, when Trump has done after this, same Frank, what happens? Did the USA hold a bit? No, olive branch to the 10 lives, to the likes of Iran. No, they're all the same. Every single one of presidents. There's only JFK who was all right. They avoided like the Cuban Missile Crisis. But you get the likes of every other president. Nothing was. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. When Trump has done after this, saying, no, nothing's going to happen. They won't hold out to their olive branch or anything. I'm being honest with you. I can't see a president. Just imagine if that Rubio will get in. He'll carry on. That Vance, who's prime minister, the vice president now, he won't do it either. Good evening, Frank and chat. Sorry I'm late, says Donna Taylor. No problem, Donna. Good to see you. Farage ran on defund the... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He said that a while back. And he really... If he was Prime Minister, he'd be fucking troop or whatever fucking troops we've got. And whatever ships we've got. They'd be there now. With the Americans. With him. He's horrible, him. Farage. Horrible. He's horrible, Johan. By Cedric, says Paulie. Oh yeah, speaking of the devil, when I mentioned about Romania and it's Ali. Hiya, Ali. Yes, Franco, Romania is gone. I feel it in my own skin, where every year on is going down, harder and harder. Now I lost my home. Oh, come on. What will I have to lose next? And there's nothing to do. Made something. Oh. And there's nothing to do to make something is gone. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ali. I'm so sorry for you and your mum. And that's the EU for you, the European Union. Frank, did you know that Scott Bessent, no I didn't, was George Soros's chief investment officer at his hedge fund? No, I didn't. That's new to me. Thank you, Johan. He's a clown, Bessent, though, isn't he? Did you see what fucking plan he's come out with? This is what we do. This is, we'll we'll stop the sanctions with Russia, to get the oil out so that they will go above $100. What a fucking idiot. And Ali says, no, that's a good point, that, Johan. Thank you so much for letting me know. I didn't know about that, Soros. And he was his chief. And Ali says, and they say that will come worse possible times. It's crazy. The EU is destroying everything. Of course the EU is, Ali. Of course. I can't even tell you where to go. Fucking no use coming here. And Polo says Soros likes chaos, division. Meanwhile, the millions rigging in the stock market. Yes. Just look at this, boys, girls. What Ali says. Gas in Romania jumped at €2. Prices are huge. Salaries €500 per month. It's going to be hard for everyone, unfortunately. There's only one country to blame, and that's Israel, for dragging America to tell them what to do. You might think America's on its own. It's not. They're being pulled by Israel. And it's all because of Congress and the Senate. Look at Lindsey Graham. What a horrible man he is. Lindsey Graham. I'm not talking about Max Blumenthal, the great grey zone fella, but that other fella, he's got a name like him. Blumtel, is it? Got a name like him. And he's Lindsey Graham's mate. They're fucking horrible, them. And they speak out for the Senate. There's only one fella I like out the Senate. Well, it's that massive fella. I think he's brilliant, him. But there's a lad named Rand Paul. He's brilliant. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and he stood up in the Senate and he said, I want to audit over there in Ukraine to see where our money's going. Because he knew at the time, he knew that there was pilfering. And half of them now who's being pilfering are in Israel, living in Israel, that Ermac, for example. And Ali says, 20 years ago I worked since I was 17 and I have nothing. I even lost everything what I made in this life because of EU politics. They've destroyed us. The EU has destroyed us. And they're always saying to us about democracy. There's no democracy. And this is why they're saying about Ukraine, look at the democracy of Ukraine. They've never once mentioned about the opposition to Zelensky, who are in jail. He jailed them all, closed down all television and papers. The opposition. Where's that democracy in this that von der Leyen's talking about? And von der Leyen is self-cancelling in the EU. An election to put in a fella who was going to win, Georgescu. And this other fella, he took over Georgescu, and he wanted the same as Georgescu. And he wasn't allowed to fucking there. It's just terrible what they're doing. And this is in Brussels. This is from the EU headquarters in Brussels, and that von der Leyen. And they're trying to get rid of Viktor Orban of Hungary. It's shocking what they're doing. You think America's bad? They're fucking the same. Regime changes within Europe. Lovely little Johnny. Frank, do you think Britain will ever be great again? No. No, hasn't been great for years. Neither is America. That's why Trump went in, didn't he, and said, make America great again, MAGA. Don't mean it will fucking never be great. I don't think America's ever been great. Once they killed Marilyn Monroe, that was it with me. And Ali says Soros paid billions for propaganda, so people will vote as slave. Well, slaves to him anyway, yeah, and they can destroy us. Of course, Ali, they are destroying us now. And Polo, you're right, Frank. Massey wanted a audit on money, arms to Kiev. Where is 800 million gone? It was not spent. Yep. Yeah. That's how Zelensky's buying homes. He's bought, I think he's bought 2 homes in Mayfair. One in Knightsbridge and one in Mayfair. And they're fucking millions then. And I'm talking millions. I'm talking what Arabs buy, like for 25 to 30 million, even more. And he's got them. No, I like that Massey, and I like Rand Paul. But they all got... See, don't forget, Biden was making money. Hunter Biden was making money. He's a drug abuser as well. And CW, you will own nothing and be happy. That's what we're told. That's a cracker, that. That's what we're actually told. You will be happy or you'll get a slap. What is the black budget? Says little Johnny. The black budget is like the black market. we're going through the black budget now, to be honest, Donna. Wait till we wait till we get our bills. I'm paying it. I had a fixed. I just pay everything by direct debit, you know. I've got no real debt. The only debt I have is energy, and this. What I'm doing. That's only a little bit of debt, though. But I just everything that you see in my home is paid for, and I mean everything. How can I put this? I got a bill in. I had a fixed rate bill for all the energy every month. That just paid, whether it's summer or whatever, and it's fucking shocking. My bill, and I actually phoned them up. I said I had a fixed bill. We can't now because of I had a fixed rate, and it was a lot. Now I'm waiting for the next bill to come. Well, I've got it. Fully enough, I've got it. I haven't opened it. And Ali says, since the Ukraine war started, military people made a lot of money. They stole everything. Of course. Of course. And all the arms and everything else that was going to Ukraine, it was going on the black market. And Rand Paul pointed that out. And I think Massey did as well. He pointed it out. Some of the arms are going on the black market, what we're sending over. Everything. Gary. No one's here, though. How are you, Frank? Snow's in here. Massive snow blizzards outside. Oh, so you're not going for a pint? Tell you what, it's very expensive over there. Iceland. Very expensive. Very expensive, Gary. I'm not looking forward to coming back due to bills. Due to the bills, they complicate everything with the energy bills, says Gary. Gary, you know I love you, don't you? But it's your own fault. Going there to blizzards. At least one thing you haven't got up there in Iceland is bears. The only thing you might have, though, is a few polar bears. And they're more vicious. If they can get over there, that is. Because you're right on the Arctic there. Ah, lovely little Sheena. Hiya, Sheena. Hello, Frank. Hiya, Sheena. Hope you're well. Oh, that's smashing. Smashing to see you. Do us a favour, Sheena. Just subscribe and like, please. Won't cost you nothing. Just, everything's free. Oh, that's lovely. Sheena, just subscribe and like for me, please. And Donna says, Joe Anderson has a community energy company called The Lecky. Have you heard? No. No. Was that him? I have heard of The Lecky. I didn't know he owned it. Mr. Anderson. And Gary says, I just walked back from town, 40 minutes, got soaked. Now my flight might be cancelled. I was going to say that, honestly. You know, it depends on when you're coming home. I was going to say, if you're coming home tomorrow, that'll well be cancelled. It was lovely the other day, but still freezing. Yeah, well, you do get it, don't you? Unfortunately, Gary, mate. Feel sorry for you. And Paulo, woke was invented by Israeli scholars to divide people. I hate that woke. I really do. And Sheena, hi, lovely. Hiya, Sheena. Really nice to see you. Tell your fella to retire so we can take you off to far exotic places. Far off. Nice fella, your lad, your fella. And Joe Franco, and everyone says the lovely Bella. Hiya, Bella. Hiya, Bella. Oh, that's lovely. Thanks for popping in, Bella. Thank you. Mille grazie. Mille grazie, cara mia. Cara mia, Bella. And Sheena, thanks. Thank you. All right, Shay. Lovely lady. Next week's show, hopefully it's okay by the. Oh, so you're coming home then? I kind of like it, to be honest. The weather is so unpredictable. Fucking freezing there. I tell you, if you would have gone in the summer, you could have gone to those, what you call it? Oh, I forget what you call them. You know, those spa things, but they're in the open. The healthy things, bubbling water. Yes, someone was asking about them, Shay, and will do, about subscribing and pressing the like. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you. I went into administration, and Frank and my credit. Oh, I went into administration, Frank, and my credit balance was turned into £1,000 debt when I transferred to British Gas. Fucking hell. When I first came in here, there was you had to pay as you go. You got like a little key and bought your gas out of a shop. And I remember going to a shop one day to buy some. I always paid 50 quid, whatever it was. And they had none. They couldn't do it. I was panicked. And anyway, so I got hold of the people. I said, can you change the meter? I just want to pay monthly. Cost me 450 quid. Fella just came, fucking 2 minutes he was, changed it over and that was it. 450 quid. That's fucking years ago now. A few years ago now. The Blue Lagoon. Is that what it's called? The Blue Lagoon? I remember that as a film. The Blue Lagoon. It was a bit naughty, actually. Gary says, sorry, I'm going on a bit. Feel Asians here in this hostel. They are all young. Yeah, the hostels, yeah. They're all there. They'd be made up with that. blizzards and everything, because they're all hikers, aren't they? They love hiking. What I do, Gary, every day I always stream the Dolomites, and what you see, great. I love the Dolomites, and what you see is bikers, the motorbikes, they go past as the cars going up, great it is. And then you see cyclists, how the fuck they get up mountains, pedaling up mountains, beyond me. Then you see the hikers. And that's what you're with now, hikers. That's what I think anyway. Maybe wrong. Maybe wrong or maybe right, I don't know. I don't know where I am here. Excuse me. And your apologies, I've got to go out for 15 minutes. The internet is, well, go away. I thought the Houthis finally managed to cut the underwater internet cables. Guess not. Brilliant. Love it. That's great there. The Houthis. And John said, the Lecky went into a minute. Well, Woodland's a Joe, wouldn't it? And the Polo, Frank, let's be honest, the Israeli lobby have dirt on and bribed Trump and have pushed them into this war. I don't know so much. I know what you're saying, but the Epstein files, yeah, he's definitely with young girls. Definitely. And this is what he doesn't want shown. Whether they've got anything on him, I don't know. Because he was being, if the likes of that Adelson, well, he has over 100 million. She gave him 100 million to start off with. I think he's had a lot more. So she wouldn't have had to do that if they would have said, yeah, I've seen that picture of you. See what I mean? But yeah, why not? Polo. Having dirt on him. Loads of Italians and Chinese staying here. Met some that's what you want, Gary. As long as you meet nice people. As long as you meet nice people. That's all you want. I meet lovely people as well. But I only go to Italy. And nice people are here. And Donna said, oh, I love this channel. Oh, thank you, Donna. Thank you. And Johan Polo, of course, he has compromised. Miriam Adelson paid 200 million, as it now, to do his bidding. Yeah. And he's making a hell of a lot out of the MIC, this military complex thing. He's making millions. He's making millions out of, if they get it going, the Venezuelan thing. He's making millions, well, billions, you might as well say, out of the fucking peace thing. What he's set up. What's that all about? And he's the chairman. So you got to pay him. And it's $1 billion if you want to join the peace thing. It's not going to fucking last. Other than, the UN, the United Nations. Shocking. And Ali says Epstein files disappeared at once. Millions of files about the famous people are just gone. Excuse me. Rapers, killings, cannibalism, every bad thing you can imagine is gone. And Paulo, Frank, can I ask you, have you ever travelled the east coast of Italy? Yes. Yeah, because I've been to the Ligurian Riviera, which is on the west. Fantastic. Hopefully, if I make it, everything's paid for, and be going to Venezia, Venice, flying into Venice, that is, and then which is on the east coast, a place called Lido di Eslo. Fantastic. Flat. The best beach in Europe as well. Not that I'll be able to go on the beach anymore. Went up to Crosby last summer. Mate of mine phoned me up. He said, do you want to go out? I said, yeah. I said, we're not going out for an hour again, are we? He said, no. So anyway, we went up to Crosby. We went on I couldn't walk on sand. I couldn't walk on it. You know, the way I am. Not that I'm allergic to sand, like, but couldn't walk on it. So that's the end of me, because it's got the best beach in Europe, Lido di Eslo. So that's on the east. But what you've got on the east, you've got the likes of Venice, I just mentioned. We're going to Verona as well. Going to Verona, Bologna, you can make it to there as well, just by excursions. And the lakes, you go to the lakes from there as well. So yeah, but on the west, you know, it's great. As I said, the Ligurian Riviera, it's incredible. All down the west coast. So I've been on more or less all over Italy. One place I've never been to though is I've always wanted to go. I've been to Tuscany, you know, the likes of Florence, which is second favourite city. And I've always wanted to go and see Puccini's house. I've always wanted to go to a place called Lucca because I love opera, believe it or not. And I've always wanted to see Puccini's house. And hopefully I'll be going there. It depends on what's happening with me in September to the Lucca. Visit Lucca because we're going to Florence, Anthony Brown and myself, and go to see Puccini's house, hopefully, if I'm okay. If I'm okay, that is. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful there, Polo. The east and west. The east and west is fantastic. And still everything just in vain, says Ali. They want us to suffer, to be sad, to destroy us. Money are made by these money-made machines, yeah. They own the machines. They own everything, unfortunately. And John F. Frank, I have been watching NASA and SpaceX launching rockets every night, every single night. Any idea why? Well, I know they're exploring, but it could be intel for America over Iran. You just never know. You just never know. And SpaceX is owned by Elon Musk, but he wants to do a lot of exploring, space exploration. And Polo says, one day I want to go to Ancona and to Pescara. I went to a place called Cattolica on the east as well. And who goes there is Germans. Lots of Germans go to Cattolica. And Rimini, I've been to Rimini as well. Polignano Amare Franco is so beautiful. By the sea, Polignano. I've never heard of it, Bella. Never heard of it. Polignano. Never heard of it. Where's it by? Sounds good. And you're to Ali. Is it true, as Candace says, that there is an organised child trafficking network in Romania, largely operational through US military bases? Well, we know that there's child trafficking, don't we, in Ukraine? That's being exposed. That's being exposed. But Romania, albeit that Ali's one of our chatters and nice people. 3 years ago, 2 minor girls disappeared. And they said that one guy killed them. But no, they were kidnapped and transferred to the US military. So their soldiers could have fucking hell. That's shocking, that. You see, I mentioned about Japan and the Japanese people want the Americans out. They get their bases out of fucking our country. And you don't know what goes on with them. Is what Ali's saying and what you're saying, Johan. But there is child trafficking. And look at America involved in Ukraine. There's loads of it's being exposed. Child trafficking in Ukraine. Thousands of them. Thousands. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, this is awful. I have to fucking go on there now. Fuck's sake. I didn't want to do that. I hate bending over because my neck goes. And Ali, after Ceausescu was killed by Romania because a heaven for human trafficking and for all the worst things, far left, led by Soros, took us and destroyed us. Soros has got a lot to do with everything. He should be on fucking trial, him. And Polo, that crime happens a lot in Japan bases. There you go. Well, there's a lot of them. That's why they want them out. That's why they want them out. That's why the ordinary Japanese polo want them out. They want them out of Japan. Get them out of our country. We don't want them. And we fucking have them here. Why have we got Americans here? And Ali says, I know a lot of gypsy families who only kidnap girls and sold them in the West for prostitution because I grow around only bad people because in Romania it's full of bad people. I'll tell you something. I used to go after work, where I was lecturing. I used to go into this place called Tesco, right, supermarket. And I used to get only a little bit of stuff to bring home, if I was running short or whatever. So I used to always go into Tesco. And there was this fella, little swarthy fella. And he was standing there. And he said to me, you have a cigarette to give me? And I said, no. I said, no, I only have them, mate. He said, what is that? I said, it's a vape. I said, a vape. He said, can you give me a vape? I said, no, you're not fucking putting your mouth in this. You're putting this in your mouth. He said, no, you have a spare one. I said, no. And he said, if you do, and this is genuine, this. And there were two girls. They must have been about, I couldn't say that they were in the teens. They could have been about 16, 17, 18, something like that. All dressed up. And they were good-looking kids. And he said, you can have anyone. And one of the beggars, who was, just a bit down from that conversation took place, he's Romanian. So they get to know these people. So there you have it. So obviously they were prostitutes, young. Harry John killed by an American, and she fled back to the US and tried to claim diplomatic. Yeah, the little kid. I don't know what fucking happened to him. And that was shocking, that. Kids on the bike, young lads. Don't know what happened to him, Steve. Shocking, that. She should have been tried for fucking murder there. Because I watch a lot of American crime every day. They're fucking nuts over there, And there was a woman cop, absolutely. She was bevies, in other words. And she pulled up, killed this kid on a motorbike. He was going along and she turned and fucking hit him. He ended up 200 fucking yards away from the motorbike. He was dead. And she was laughing with the cops because she was a cop. But she'd been drinking. She wasn't in a uniform. She was just dressed normal. It was fucking shocking. And she's laughing and joking and everything. And this cop comes over, the body cam, and says, he's dead. And she didn't even fucking ask about him. And she just went, oh, DUI. And they brought her in. And they gave her, you know, like, took her blood 6 hours after the accident, trying to get it right down. But she was still over the limit. They couldn't fucking save her for that. But the trial's still going on today. Don't know how she got on. Fucking shocking what they do in America. Really bad. This girl doing this TikTok fucking thing. She was waiting. You see us just sitting in a car, and she's saying, "I'm waiting for the." You know, she mentioned this lad's name. Black couple they were, and the lad comes, and she's giving them all kisses. And once she got out the car, that's when she seen him, and she all hugging him, kissing him. And he got back in the car. She was on the, you know, that TikTok fucking thing. And he was just sitting there, you know, like that. Not a word. Not a fucking word. And he get back to the house and he ends up fucking killing her. Killing her. But it's like that. It's fucking nuts. He said, "You were cheating." She said, "I wasn't." You don't see that, like, obviously. But he accused her of cheating. His mate said, "I'm sure I seen her out with somewhere, you know, some fella from a gang. From a gang. And most probably the girl wasn't." Oh, lovely Bella. Polignano Amare Puglia. Oh, Puglia, beautiful. Beautiful. Famous for its whitewashed art. Yeah, I know, perched on limestone cliffs and the iconic east coast of Italy. Puglia, yeah. Don't they have the Trulies in Puglia? Beautiful houses. The caves, aren't they? Cave homes. Trulies. I think Italy is, I don't think, Italy is the most beautiful country on the planet. Really is. I just want to get to Lido this year, you know, with my daughter and my granddaughter. And I said to Francine, I said, "Will you go to the Dolomites? We'll get an excursion because you can get, like, you can pay for them here to go on them." And she went, "Oh, wait, Dad. It takes 11 hours, you know, all day. You've got to get to Venice to." I said, "Well, it's not far from Venice. The coach, to get the coach to get to the Dolomites." And she went, I said, "We stop as well, you know, you be looking around, beautiful places. So you'll have lunch and that. You'll be tired when you get back, obviously, but you just go straight to bed. If you go at 7 o'clock in the morning, you're back at 7. You know, you'll be all relaxed, get a shower and go out, have a bevy or whatever. Bring our little Sophia out." And she went, "Okay. But that's if I can make it." See, we're paying, I said, I'll pay for the things before we go. All the excursions that were going on. So she agreed. Okay. And Ali, I'll pay the rest of 3 times because I talk too much. I lost my job because of that. Many things. Doesn't matter if you
Fight to survive. If you are good, you are alone. They will start to destroy you.
Can't even comment on that, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ali. And stay. I watched the documentary Epstein Didn't Kill Himself Again last week. Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio defended Epstein during his first trial. Yet he did. I don't think he's dead. I've never ever said. And I always said that that was a setup about the Trump assassination plot. Because why did they kill that young lad on the roof? They set him up. They could have easily have said to him, listen, someone's trying to kill Trump, the president. How would you like to work for us? And get on a roof if you see anyone and give him a fucking empty gun. And they just shot him dead. They wouldn't have done that. They would have fucking arrested him. Shot him dead, that young lad. It's the way it is. Ted Cruz is a prick. Stay. And so is Rubio. I know Frank says, Ali, they are all free. Nobody gives a toss about those criminals. I am tired to find with them. I fought with everybody. I made a lot of enemies because I try to be different. It's hard, I know. Everybody tries to be different. And the Polo says that crime of kidnapping of girls in Eastern Europe has gone on since the Ottoman times. But we're getting us here, aren't we? I'm not saying it's kidnapping yet, but it will be. You know what I mean? All this BS has happened because of our leaders. Yes, totally agree there, Ali. We had sellout leaders. They sold their hearts to them. They control our leaders. Even the votes doesn't matter anymore. They control everything. Corruption. Yep. My nose is itchy again. Itchy nose. And Bella, to Ali, at least you can look at yourself in a mirror and see an honest person looking back. Always be true to yourself. You'll never be alone. That's great, that. And he's a red as well. You'll never walk alone, Ali. You'll never be alone, as Bella says. Because you're here with us. Albeit the distances are so vast. I thought you were trying to get to Ireland. Job there. And Ali to Bella, I will always keep my character, my honour and my dignity. It doesn't matter how many threats I receive. Yeah, we all get fucking threatened. I was threatened there before, nothing but threatened like. But Tolly Little or someone saying I owe an apology to Snapey. You should apologise. Yeah. Fucking apologise, all right. Ali,
I can beat that Epstein. I bet that Epstein is a lot. Of course he is. Or they will kill them because he knew too much. It's normal in the world. Demons. Thing is, he's not dead. He's living in Israel. And Ghislaine will be joining him. I'll guarantee you. That's why she's gone to this, like, a little jail. She might be gone now anyway. But if she hasn't gone, she hasn't gone. When Trump goes, he'll pardon her. Guaranteed. It's a wonder he hasn't pardoned her now. But she might have gone by now. So listen, people, I'm finishing now. It's been great. Thank you for making me company, keeping me company. And I suppose you're watching the match. And I'm getting my haircut tomorrow. Getting my haircut tomorrow. And he's coming when the match is on. So I'll have to text him in the morning and just say, listen, you'll have to cut it during half time because I'm doing this. But I really need it to be cut. You know what I mean? Like, really cut. And Ali says, good night to all. Thank you, Ali. And thank you, lovely Bella, for letting me know where that place is in Puglia. That's been brilliant. Puglia, I love Puglia. And all the little Trulies. Truly homes. And Johan, thank you, Frank and Legends. Have a good night, everyone. Watch you along tomorrow. Yeah. Johan, can I ask you a question? Do you think I should have apologised to Mr. Snape? Well, anyway, on that bright note, I'm leaving you all, and I'll hopefully see some of you tomorrow for the watch along. I don't know what time the kickoff is. It's 12:30, so I'll be 11:45 when I see you. I'll be getting my hair cut. Yeah, do that now, please, Johan. Thank you. Thank you, TW. Cheers, Frank. See you tomorrow. Thank you, T. The next one, as I said, I had one thing on my tie here, trying to change it over, which made me feel better because of my neck. Because every time I finish a pod, my neck. Oh, lovely little Helen. Good night, everyone. Good night, Amby. Thank you, Helen. Hope you're well, sweetheart. Yep, 12:30 says the T. Great. So I'll be on at 11:45. I'll have some pictures for you to look at. I've got them all listed down here. Because I packed them up. I packed up the things, didn't I? The Saturday morning TV review and film. I've got a few films for you to watch. It's good. Thanks for that, T. And Ali, by the way, Frank, tomorrow I will try to talk with Leo and raise your stream for new subs. And oh, will you? Thank you, Ali. I really appreciate it, honestly. I really do. Thank you. He's a good kid, is Leo. Leo Goals, isn't it? Leo Goals. Good kid. Thank you. Thank you, Frank, says Stevie Mulholland, my mate. You'd love Stevie. He's a cracking lad, honestly. One good fella. Ali. Good night, El Frankenham. Kappa di Tutti. Capo di Tutti. Capi. Yep. Yep. The boss of all bosses. The Capo di Tutti Capi. I wish. I wish. And on that bright note, thank you, Ali. I'll see some of you tomorrow. Thank you, Bella, you beautiful thing about Puglia. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Always at Marcella. Our lovely Marcella. See some of you tomorrow. Ciao. Ciao tutti.